Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by Julie. Hey, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
We're excited to have you here today. We're going to be talking about creating FAQ libraries or FAQ resources to be put in different parts of your website for different purposes. So whether that is utilizing questions to improve your client outcomes or to close new clients, we're going to talk about what it looks like to collect those questions and use them as content in the right places on your website to get you and your clients better results. So welcome if you're new here. We do this call every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. And of course, this is open to anyone who is interested in growing a coaching, consulting, expert business, whatever it is that you offer. We've got tools to help you grow and work smarter, not harder with AttractWell. And you'll learn about how to use AttractWell. And of course, today we'll be showing you how to create FAQ sections on your pages. And of course, all of these calls that we do here are free for you if you are interested in learning more about AttractWell or want to get more out of the account that you have. So welcome. We're excited to have you. Head over into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from, what kind of business you have, who do you serve. We're always interested to learn more about the folks who join our community. We have a lot to get into here today. So Julie and I are going to pop out of video and get into slides that I've prepared for you just so we can make sure that we cover all of this in good time. So today, again, we're talking about building and leveraging your own FAQ library. So what we'll cover here today first are some very exciting feature updates. So if you are an AttractWell user, especially if you are designing pages or using our booking feature, maybe offering call packages, you're going to want to see what Greg has been working hard on and that I'll be showing to you here at the top of the call. We'll talk about why frequently asked questions are critical for your sales and client success, how to create frequently asked questions before you even get them, maybe if you're just getting started or you're just beginning to offer something. And we'll talk about where we can place our FAQs for maximum impact, how to collect and refine them over time, and some best practices for writing your FAQs so that they actually help you to convert sales and support your clients toward better outcomes. And of course, as always, we have live help and Q&A. If you are here looking for live help, you are in the right place. We do reserve the second half of these Thursday calls for that purpose. So if you have questions, go ahead and add them to the Q&A. And if you have signed up for a live work review on this call, go ahead and let us know that you're here and you're ready. And of course, we will get to you here in the second half of the call. We welcome you and we're excited to have you. And if you are watching this as a replay, come join us. We are live on Zoom every week, and this is a great opportunity to get hands-on support, to get feedback on the work that you're doing, and to learn more about smart ways to grow your business using AttractWell. And if you'd like to work together live, you can go to attractwell.com/work review. That's where you can sign up to have your own dedicated space in the latter half of one of these Thursday calls. And if you'd like for our team to do some stuff for you, whether that is VA work, design work, building things in your system, migrating you over from another platform, you name it, our team can help you do it. Attractwell.com/concierge is where you're going to want to go to learn more about our team, some of the projects they've completed, and schedule your own no obligation discovery session. All right, so first things first, let's get into some feature updates. Really excited to share these with you guys here today. Feature updates beginning with element visibility in the page editor. Now, what this means is that inside of the same section, you can adjust how or whether an element is visible on a phone versus a tablet versus a desktop or laptop device. So this is really, really cool if you are trying to maybe design pages for mobile viewing. So right now I'm in the page builder, and let me just go ahead and collapse my menu here. And I'm using one of our built-in themes. Here, let me just start from scratch here. I'm on Pages, which you can find right here under website and blog. I'm going to click add, and I'm actually just going to start with a built-in homepage theme. And here we go. So you can see here we've got these different elements, right? So if I click here, we can edit the content. If I want to edit the element styles though, I can actually choose under element visibility whether this specific element is viewable on different devices. This is really exciting stuff. So before I actually show you the difference there, let me just go ahead and make a duplicate of this, right? So maybe I want to use this one on here, hang on just a second. Let me get out of the style editor and go into the content editor. So maybe this, here, let me delete this guy. Okay. I'm going to go in and change the size of this one. I'm going to keep it quite large because this one is going to be for desktop. All right. And I am going to maybe change what's here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to call this mobile view. Maybe this is the same thing. Maybe we'll call this, it's the same title. I'm going to make it smaller and I'm going to change the font as well, just to make sure that you can really see the difference here. So I'm going to change this to something that's going to be a little bit better viewed on mobile, right? So we don't want something too giant on mobile. So first, let's look at the computer preview. Now, right now, you can see both of these lines of text, right? And we can see both of these lines of text. You can see how this is huge and it wraps on mobile. And we can see it here on this portrait mode in like a tablet style device as well. Now, if we go to our style editor and I click this big guy here, back down here to element visibility, I want to not view that on mobile or tablet portrait. Now, when I go and I look at my computer preview, that's all still there. But when I look at this one, you can only see this. Pretty cool, right? So let's go and we'll modify this one so that it's not visible on those larger screens. And now inside of the same section, without having to create a wholly different section, you are able to modify what is visible based on the section that it's in. So maybe this image, for instance, is one that I don't want to show on mobile. I just want to show it on the larger devices. I could do that as well. Click on the mobile preview and voila, you are no longer seeing that image, but if we are on a desktop, we are. So that is our first really exciting update. This eliminates the need to have to create an entirely new section if you choose to maybe consolidate your designs into a single one, which is pretty cool. All right, now the next thing that Greg has updated for us is an override link for appointment booking. This one is huge, right? So we go through all of the trouble of creating our availability, and maybe we've got a last minute change that we need to make, but we know that it's not working with the schedule that we have set up, but we need to book it. We've got a way to get that done. So let me come back over here, and so we're under booking types right here. You will now see an override link right next to all of these booking types, and I believe. Yeah, this is going to be basically any of the things that you have booked. And I believe under call packages as well, you might be able to, yeah, you've got an override here for your call package links as well. So just as an example, if you are, right now where it's the 27th, if I need to be able to create availability for my client at 4 p.m. today, you can see right now, if I sent them my link, there is nothing available for today. So what I can do is I can go in here, go to override, and I can go ahead and pick 4 o'clock today. Even though it's not available on my calendar, I can put in that client's name and email and then schedule that event, right? So now you have the ability to override those booking times. Now, note that all of this stuff that shows up when you choose override, this is showing literally everything. I mean, this is showing 11:45 p.m., all of it, right? From like right now all the way through to the end of today. It is not taking account any of your conflicts in your schedule. So if you're using this override link, I do highly recommend that you consult your calendar just to make sure that you aren't double booking yourself, because this is really truly overriding everything when you do that, which is pretty cool. Another great time saver and headache saver as well. Finally, you have the ability now to edit the number of calls in a call package. So for a contact who has a number of calls assigned to them in a call package, maybe you've got a client who scheduled 5 calls with you. They had to, they had an emergency, had to cancel one of them, and now it's showing that they had maybe actually had that call with you. You can actually go back and adjust. Let me show you what that looks like. You're going to find that in the contact actually on the contact themselves. So you go to that client and you can scroll down here under call packages. And here we have a 3 call package. They have 0 of 3. Maybe I want to change this to 4 calls. I can update that to a total of 4 here, right? So if they have maybe had a certain number of calls with you, you want to add one, you can do that here as well. Pretty cool. All right. So a big thanks to Greg for making these updates. Of course, Greg created this platform and continues to improve it. If you guys like these changes, maybe head over to our Facebook group and give him a thank you. He does work really hard on keeping this platform updated and granting all of our many wishes and requests that we give him to use this platform. All right. So let's get into this. Why do frequently asked questions matter for your leads and your clients? First things first, this is going to, if you have an FAQ section on, say, like a sales page, it's going to help to reduce friction in closing the sale because you're going to allow your future client to address and view and consider their objections up front, right? It's also going to save you time by reducing repeat questions from potential buyers and improves your client experiences by answering key questions before they even need to ask if you have an FAQ, say, inside of a vault where you're offering a course, for instance. This also gives your leads and clients confidence in what it is that you're offering, making them more likely to commit and follow through. So there are 2 types of frequently asked questions that you can create. In my view, there are external or lead-facing FAQs and internal or client-facing FAQs. So let's talk first about the external FAQs. So this is going to be for leads, for people who haven't chosen to move forward with you yet on a given offer or at all. This is going to typically be on a place like a sales page or on a page that is offering a conversion to something like a discovery call. So this we would place on a sales page, a registration page, and even maybe independently in content and sales emails to preempt objections, right? It'll help your potential buyers overcome doubts before they hesitate. And so some examples here of external FAQs would be, how much time will this take? So let's just say you have a program or maybe even a service. They may ask how much time that particular offer will take. And if the answer is supplied on the page, they are much more likely to move ahead and purchase or convert as opposed to walking away because they have a lingering question. What if this doesn't work for me? Do you have guarantees? What's included when I sign up? All of these things that go through someone's mind before they go and pay and say yes. If we have these questions answered on the page, we are much more likely to keep them around long enough to see them close. Now let's talk about internal FAQs. This would be for your clients and for program participants. So these are for people who are working with you in some capacity. This is going to be really helpful to add inside of your course or membership pages, maybe onboarding emails, and inside of your client vaults. It'll really reduce the frustration and confusion that people might experience by making your processes, your expectations, and organization of information a bit more clear. So some examples that you might see internally on your FAQ pages might be, how do I access my program materials? Or what if I fall behind? What happens after the program ends? What is our schedule of calls, right? Lots of different things that we can place here. And a quick note, I think this is really important for us, especially for those of us who are building internal FAQs. We want to make sure that we recognize how completely distracted people are. Very intelligent people are not paying full attention, right? Your very smart clients are not paying full attention. So it's important for you to include information like this in multiple places. Just because you said it once in an email does not mean that they are going to commit it to memory and abide by whatever was said. So if you say it in email, also put it in your vault. Put it on your confirmation page. Have it in several different places in your vault. Have it at the bottom of each of the emails that go out if it's something that's important for them to know. Always remember that you will need to repeat yourself. And the more that you can have tech do that for you, the less frustrated you'll be and the more covered you'll be in making sure that people know what they need to know to get the results that they signed up for. So let's talk about now how to create your frequently asked questions list before you even start getting questions. So this is for those of us who are maybe just getting started, developing an offer, right? Just getting started with our first clients. We want to put ourselves in the shoes of our ideal client. And for a lot of us, it's just an earlier version of you, right? It's who you were before you started doing what you do, right? Isn't that true for a lot of us? So I want you to think like your ideal client. What hesitations would they have before saying yes to your offer? And then be sure to review your past conversations with clients or potential clients. Look at the emails, look at the DMs, wherever it is that you're having these conversations. What are the questions that are coming up before a sale? This is yet another reason why I believe that having discovery calls are really, really important for all of us, even if our ultimate goal isn't to have that be a primary way of closing in our business. Those conversations reveal the mindsets that you need to be anticipating, the questions that are coming up in the minds of these people. And the better we know how they think, the better we can present information that can allow them to see that something is right for them and easily say yes without you being present, right? So, what are those questions? What is that person looking for in terms of assurances? What type of doubts might they have? Really kind of get into their head with this so that you can build something that's very effective. And then preemptively add FAQs to your pages, even if it's a brand new offer. Assume what people might ask and then go back and refine your FAQs over time. It's better to have this from the get-go with questions that you anticipate than to not have it and lose those potential closes on a sales page, for instance, or on a registration page for a live event, something like this, because someone's questions weren't answered on the page. All right. My favorite way to collect and leverage frequently asked questions over time is with Trello. Just like I use Trello for collecting swipe for marketing and content ideas, Trello is also a fantastic place to collect and organize frequently asked questions so that you can develop a really robust resource like this to use in multiple places on your website and throughout your content. So you want to swipe real questions from your emails, your social media, and your conversations. And then you can create a Trello board, or if you're already using the content planner, the swipe filing content planner that I provided for you guys a while back, this is a great place to put your FAQs as well because it's content. It's website content, that's still content. And it's the kind of stuff that really belongs all in the same place to kind of give you inspiration and ideas. FAQs can lead to entire themes of content for you. So don't sleep on this. Definitely be collecting this and putting it into the same place you put your content ideas. And then what we want to do is move those frequently asked questions as we've developed them into content, into our marketing materials, our sales emails, or of course, our client onboarding processes as needed. Now, before I get into these best practices for writing effective FAQs, I actually want to go and show you where you can go to get a Trello resource that I created for you guys a while back. If we go to the Success Academy here, and go to live training and replays, type in swipe, and you'll see that I actually have a training right here using swipe to plan using a swipe file to plan content. And this includes a checklist for you as well as a free Trello board template. So if we click right here, you can see the resources. It gets you started. This is for you if you're interested in getting started with creating content, blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos, really getting yourself out there with long form substantive content, planning for it and executing it successfully. This swipe file and content planner is a template that you can use, and you can actually see right here. This is a template that you can copy. And this is where you could actually put an entire list of frequently asked questions, which would just be such a really useful way to expand what you're putting together here. So definitely make sure go over to the Success Academy, type in swipe, and you'll be able to get access to this completely free resource that you can use to start working in that direction in your business. All right, now let's talk about writing our FAQs. This isn't just about pasting a question that someone asked you, right? This is about answering questions in a way that helps to nurture the outcome you're looking for. I see a question here real quick, Denny. Do we just create a new card for FAQs? I would create a new list. I'll actually show you exactly what I do here in just a bit. All right, so let's talk about some examples for external frequently asked questions. So if you have questions that you want to address preemptively on a sales page, on a registration page for a live event, a webinar, any kind of free offer or paid offer. So this is for your leads. What if I don't have time for this program? Have you been asked that question before? If you have pitched a program before, whether it be on a sales page, on a webinar, or on a discovery call, you've probably had someone ask, well, how much time should I commit to this? What kind of time do I need for this? That's such an important question to address on any kind of resource that you are providing. Now, what you can say is, well, this requires 3 to 5 hours per week. And that may be 100% correct, but it is not going to help you close. We have to make sure that we're looking at every way we use words in an external sense as copywriting, right? Every time we share a piece of information, a statement of any kind, is an opportunity for us to deliver it in a way that helps to provide the outcome that we're looking for. So instead of answering this, what if I don't have time question with facts, we give the facts in a better context. So we say this program is designed for busy schedules, lessons are short, actionable, and can be completed at your own pace. You could say after this, if you want to specify 3 to 5 hours per week, you could say something in addition to what's here. We find that the average student spends about 3 to 5 hours per week on this, right? But we're saying this is designed for busy schedules because why are they asking this question? What if I don't have time? Because I'm busy. I see myself as busy. And so you say, well, we made this for busy people. We're thinking about why they're asking that question and we're addressing the answer in this FAQ here accordingly. Is there a refund policy, right? And this again, we want to be thinking about why are they asking this? So if the true facts answer is no, all sales are final, the better way to put this is due to the digital nature of this program, all sales are final. However, if you're unsure whether this is right for you, book a free call and we'll help you decide. Right? Because you want to find out why. Why are they interested in whether or not there's a refund policy? Are they doubting themselves? Do they think that they're busy and don't have enough time? There are all number of reasons that this person could be curious about whether or not there's a refund policy. And if they're serious, and this is a serious buying question, or they have serious buying questions, you can reveal those on a discovery call. Another question, how long will I have access to this program? The answer might be you'll have lifetime access, or we could really position what we're offering as something with much greater substance and say you'll have unlimited access to all course materials, including future updates, so you can revisit anytime you need. Which one of these do you think is going to help them go ahead and click that buy button, right? All right, let's talk about some internal FAQ examples. So this again is going to be for people who have said yes, who have purchased, who are working with you. These are your clients, participants in your programs. First question, how do I access my program materials? And we could say, check your email for a link, and that could be 100% true, but we're going to provide them a better experience by saying you can access all materials inside your private client vault, log in here, and navigate to My Programs to get started. And the cool thing about this is if they continue to maybe return to this resource, they start to realize, oh yeah, that link, I maybe ought to bookmark that link. And maybe you even suggest here, go ahead and bookmark this link now so that you can find this whenever you're looking for it, right? You can add a lot more information to an FAQ section than just plain text. You can put links there. You can you can format it to include screenshots, lots of great options here. So what should I do if I fall behind? Try to catch up when you can. Okay, that's fine. But what's better, this program is self-paced. So you can go through the content as it fits your schedule. If you need extra support, reach out inside the discussion group, right? Or this is where you might provide a link to your calendar for a quick check-in, right? What happens after the program ends? We could say it ends after 8 weeks, or we could say after 8 weeks, you'll have continued access to all materials. If you'd like ongoing coaching, we offer an exclusive alumni group for continued support. So here we're even seeding an upsell. Right now, we're even letting them know that at the other side of this program, there is another option to go deeper, to work together further, right? All right, so we're going to get into some life help and Q&A. Daniel will be bringing you out to chat here in just a bit. But first things first, I want to get into actually showing you guys how to build an FAQ section, as well as how to add, as Denny requested, the a new list in Trello for your cards. Okay, so let's go take a look here real quick. Inside of your pages, I will just go and create a new page. Let's find, how about a landing or registration page? And here we go. Here's a workshop registration with a countdown timer, which is pretty cool. This is actually here for you. All of this information ready to go. It's one of our templates. And voila, there's actually an FAQ section right here. So I'll show you how to add one. If your page doesn't have one, click Add Section. Click interactive, and then there is an accordion here for FAQ. If you would like for this to be alongside perhaps another element, so maybe you want to have a video on one side and FAQ on the other, I can go to add section. I'll put two columns in. I'll maybe have an image on one side, and then over here, I want to add some frequently asked questions. So here, I'm going to delete this. All right, and then you can actually add into a section uh, your um, your frequently asked questions into this. Or another thing you could do here, actually, let me show you. Go ahead and add it the way that you want it. And my favorite way to add like to add columns is to actually use the column editor. So I'm going to show you how I do it personally. So I would actually click into, well, nope, I'm not doing this correctly today. Sorry. All right. Let me see. I've done this before. Anyway, you have the ability to add multiple sections, and inside of these sections, you can include that interactive content, right? So if I want to edit my content here, you can actually add you can have this inside of its own separate section. Anywho, so let's get into actually modifying this itself. So first there's the style. You can see that I have included a colored background with a white font. You can obviously modify this to your liking, and you can see exactly what it'll look like when it's published, right? So this is how I've chosen to set this one up. You can change the font. You can also change the size of the font. Again, totally up to you. And that is for the header, and then this is for the contents. You can also choose whether or not the first one remains open. So what that looks like here, you can actually see that these are all closed except for number 3. So if I go in here, you can see that 3 is also open, and now it's closed. So when you've got it colored and everything the way that you want, you can add your questions here. So here is my question 1, and then we've got our answer here. And again, you can add titles here to this section if you want to say whatever you'd like to say. So we've got questions, we've got answers. Sometimes, depending on the questions that you are addressing here, it can be helpful for you to have maybe the first one open so that they kind of are prompted there to engage with this section further. Another thing that I want you to note here is that this is a full editor section. If you want to include a video in here, you can. If you want to add images, you can, right? So I could even place a video inside of my Q&A. I can add links to other places, right? Lots of different options here, right? So we're just editing in this part here. All right. So yeah, that's essentially what you do. You add it to your page. Let me see. Do you recommend that FAQs are placed on a sales page or as a separate page on their own or somewhere else? So I absolutely recommend Q&A sections on sales pages. And I actually don't, I told you could put it into a column, and you can. On a sales page, I actually wouldn't recommend it in anything other than its own space, exactly like this, because you want to be able to really allow people to engage with the questions that are there. So here, I'll scroll down here. And you can see that we can open and close these, right? And you can, again, have as much content in them as you like. But yeah, you want to have a Q&A on your page that's relevant specifically to the thing that the page is talking about. So here, on this page, and what is up with the spacing on this guy? The padding on here is not cute. Let's fix that. So we need to, there we go. A little bit more padding on the left and right. Okay, so on this page, we are offering a workshop, right? We've got a call to action. We see that there's a countdown here. We want them to go ahead and say yes. Right now, we're going to tell them what they'll learn. They'll learn about you. They'll even see some testimonials. And then, you know what? Maybe even after all of this information, they want to know, is this recorded? And you could say, we are providing a recording and you will get access to it within 24 hours of the call. So go ahead and register now, right? Are there any downloads? Whatever those questions are that might come up, this would be specific to right here. Now, there are some instances where you might want to create an FAQ section that you'll use on multiple pages. In that case, what I would do is I would go and create a new page with just the FAQ and maybe a little title bar. So here I'm just going to go from blank. I would add a header, and then I would add that one column interactive section. There we go. Pop my FAQ in here. And this is where we can address any questions and answers. And this is going to be for really where you're going to be maybe offering something in multiple places or on multiple pages. If you've got sort of like a signature thing that you do, or if what you do is kind of complicated to explain and you want to be able to provide a little bit more information about the background of, maybe some topics related to what you talk about, then, something like this, once you create it, you can use the copy in feature and then put this onto any page on your website that you choose, right? And Denny, let me know where you got lost there. Happy to go and show you. So this is, something that you can create that's on its own that you could insert into other pages. Or of course, generally speaking, you're going to be using an FAQ or an FAQ section for a very specific type of use case, right? So you're not going to use the same FAQs on a registration page for a workshop as you are on the sales page for whatever you're pitching on that workshop. Does that make sense? Okay, the FAQ lines, open some and close some. Yeah, yeah. So essentially, what you can see here is, we'll go to the preview. In this FAQ section, do you see how this is automatically open and these are automatically closed? You have the ability when you're editing this to choose whether or not, like up here where the header is, whether or not that particular question has its answer open automatically, right? If I closed this, then if we go and we look at it, everything is closed. And then they're just looking for the question that they have. And generally speaking, especially if you have a longer one, it's going to be best to have most of them closed just to be able to not clog up the page so much, right? The whole point of having the collapsible sections is so that you can, well, collapse them. So it's easier to get past them if the information there isn't relevant to what the browser, the person who's browsing is looking for. But it is often helpful to maybe at least have the first one open, maybe the most commonly asked question, so that when people see this section, they are, it tells their brain, ooh, I can open more of these and read them, right? Because you're seeing an example of one of them open. Okay, let me see if we've got more questions to this end. How to upload a Canva made favicon to my account. Okay, yeah, we will do that here in a second as well. But really quick, let me show you in Trello. And I actually have an example of this Trello board right here. Here, let me archive this list. So this is a version of that swipe file and content planner that I shared with you just a moment ago. You've got some, blog drafts in progress. We've got some of the stuff that we've published. We've got ideas for email, social media, long form content, and even copy and design for our website. If you want to start collecting questions to use in FAQs, then I would add another list here and title it FAQ. And I would go add a list. And then maybe a question would be, gosh, I don't know, uh, is what is your refund policy? And you say, oh, shoot, you know what? I don't have one, right? Maybe that's something I need to work on. But it's not something that you need to drop everything and figure out right this second. Or if you come up with the answer, as you answer it, you can put that in here. You could maybe, consult AI for better wording. And of course, when you're ready, you can go and build with what you collect here an FAQ section for different parts of your website, right? So that's what that looks like. You just create a new list and then you add a new card. And then as you are creating these, you can attach links, you can, video, images, whatever it is that you want to say, collect everything here so that when you're ready to go and build it in AttractWell, you have everything you need all in one place, right? So much easier to come to AttractWell to use these tech tools to design things when you already know what you're going to say, right? So I never ever recommend just going and saying, oh, here's a page. Now I have to figure out what to say on it, right? You need to kind of decide what you want to say before you come to the tech, especially if you are not so comfortable with tech. And that's why I really recommend utilizing Trello. That resource that I've created for you for swipe and content is 100% free, and you do not need to use a paid version of Trello to use that. Okay. Now, real quick, Peggy, how many FAQs are too many? That's it's super subjective. It really depends on what it is that you're offering. If you believe that it's relevant to someone making a decision and saying yes, then it belongs there. And generally speaking, I don't think that you're going to see too much. 5 to 10 is probably a solid ballpark for most of us, but I don't know, I don't know all the intricacies of what you are offering and to whom. And so it may be that there are important questions to address. I wouldn't go too far down a rabbit hole to preempt questions, especially where the answers to them leave people with anything open-ended in terms of lingering questions. You don't want to introduce potential objections where you don't have a solid answer, right? So definitely stick to those that you have a really good answer for, and whose answer can lead someone to a yes, right? So that it is useful on the page. Um, let's see about Trello. What do we do once a blog has been published and you're past that one? I actually cover that in the training for the swipe file. So definitely watch that training. But it just goes into this list here. So if I finished this one, it just goes into this list of the stuff that's published, right? And so now you can actually go through um, after the list. Oh, like on this one, you could just archive it if it's already on your site, or there's this little guy right here that you can mark complete. So you can know that it's on your site maybe after you do that. And you could leave it here just in case you want to maybe make changes to it. Okay. Last one, Canva question, and then Daniel, I'm going to bring you out. I know you've got a lot of questions here, and we're going to walk through all of them together here today. All right, so you want to add a favicon to your account, Peggy. This is a really simple thing to do, in particular with the Canva button. So the favicon is, you see the little orange target that's up here in the very top of all of these tabs? That's called a favicon. And a favicon in AttractWell, if you want to add your own, you're going to go under Customize My Site. And then you can actually see right here, a site icon or favicon is going to be at least 256 by 256 pixels for best results. Now, an icon in Canva is 500 by 500, and that works just fine, or a logo rather, in Canva is 500 by 500. So we're going to go choose site icon, add design from Canva, and pick logo. Logo is square, right? So there's logo. That's 500 by 500. If you need to go through the cookies, go through the cookies. And now you're here on a blank design. Now, perhaps you have designed yours previously and that's in your projects. And in fact, I have one right here. This is the favicon designed for Jane. So in this case, I can send that to AttractWell, and then it would be in your images, and we can select it, and then that becomes the site icon. The other option would be to download an image from Canva that is, again, square formatted like this, and then you could simply upload it from your device and select it here. Okay, Daniel, let me bring you out and let's get into your questions. All right. Thank you for being so thorough with your questions here. I want to save us time. Let's kind of talk through these. Um, yeah, tell me a little bit about what you are wanting to work on.
Well, when I've created my outline, I've created all kinds of videos. I can go in and cut those videos and just grab this little section that can work for a little concept that I want to talk about. And so if I want to like add the title, then might want to like type in the words that would support that title, and then I might want to have a picture next to it, and then I might want to have the short video underneath it. Every time I try to add anything, it sends me off in some other direction, you know, some other direction, and I end up like, where the heck am I? I'm stuck. And then
Okay.
like I got my image over here, and then it will blow my image really up huge, and I'm like, no, I don't want to blow my image up. And then I'll end up in a different area, and I'm trying to go in the vault, and then I'm trying to add a class, and I'm in the class. I don't know if I'm in the class or the vault, and I'm trying to add something, and it sends me somewhere else. And it's just like, you have so much amazing stuff here, but I can't even do the basics. And I've spent hours trying to I've played with every button, I just like checked every button out, playing with it, looking at, okay, here's how you create the landing page and the website. And then I'll go off in the other direction and try to go back to creating my basics. And I can't even, I'll take my outline and try to start creating, okay, step one, this is my first concept. And I can't do it because once I try to add something, it sends me off in another direction, and I don't even know where I'm at. And it's like,
Okay. So what is the basic that we're trying to create?
well, let's just say, you have, okay, you got your title, and then you want to like,
Title of what?
huh?
Title of what? What are you
Like,
trying to build? Are you building a page? Are you building a
I want to
course?
build a course.
Okay, excellent. All
And
right.
so let's just say that you want to, um, okay, you have your first statement, and then you want to like type in a paragraph to support the statement, and then you might want to like add a short little video. And there's
Okay,
just
is this supposed to be a part of the onboarding process, or is this a part of the content that you're teaching?
the content that I'm teaching. I just want to
Okay,
start creating.
excellent. So what we would do in that case is to create a class, right? So if this is a part of the content that you are going to be teaching in sequence, right? So
Uh-huh.
here's lesson one, lesson two, lesson three. That's going to be a class. Now the
Uh-huh.
class, once you've got it created, and you can create it first, you don't have to have anything else built yet. It looks like you do have a vault created to go with it, which is fine. The class that is that sort of core of the content that you're using to teach. So class is where we start. And so there's basically each of these lessons
And then
are going,
mine's like repeated like three or four times with the same stuff, and it's just like, oh, that's the same one, same one, same one. And I was just trying to like, you know, type something and add it something below the picture, and
below the picture in this lesson.
yeah, let's just say I wanted to like, okay, I've got up above, I have the title, I have the picture, and then I might want to like type a little two-sentence paragraph to support the picture, and then I might want to add the video or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is your member area, and this is the vault that you have. And this is the class. And
It's just like, that's my logo. And it's just like, how'd that happen? It blew it up giant.
well, it's a large image. It's a large image, and that is why it's large
I
there.
was
And you
trying
can
to I was trying to like add my logo on one of the pages where it said logo, and then when I uploaded the logo, it boom, I had this giant.
No caller. Got you. Bear with me just a second. Let me think I was moving around in too many different places. Okay, so what we want to do first is to set up your class so that it's branded correctly and so that you can have the content in there, right? So the first things first, do you have access to the How to Build Your Online course, like the course? Because
Yeah,
that,
I've watched a lot of the videos,
okay,
and then I've
and
come back to try
specifically
to start,
Specifically, did you watch the one? So I'm actually not talking about our longer form videos like this one that we're recording right now, but this one right here. Have you gotten into this?
I I went through nearly half of all the courses.
Okay. So
Probably watched that.
the reason why I ask is because this one has been updated recently and it has short videos with very specific steps to follow that outlines all of these concepts, the planning steps, and exactly how to execute it in order. So if you feel lost at all, this really is the guide and the blueprint to building something inside of a vault with classes and making sure that it's set up exactly how you want it. So this really is going to be the best place to go if you're wanting to build something inside of a course. But I'm here to, I don't want to send you to go watch more videos. I want you to know like what you need to do next. But just for reference,
Okay,
this is going to give
that's
you
on the
everything you need.
website blog area. Is
No, this is if you go to the Success Academy when you're logged
okay.
into AttractWell
Uh-huh.
and you go right here to how to build your, right? This guy right
Well,
here.
when I
Click
when I
that.
log
Mhm.
into it, I just see the Success Academy and I see the five things going across the top, but I don't see all those classes on mine. So,
Um,
mm.
Here, I'm gonna log into your account and we're gonna look at this
Okay.
together. All right, I should
Those
be,
top
yeah,
ones are all familiar, but
right. So under Success Academy right here,
mhm.
online resources and courses, it's right
Oh, there
here.
we go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what's going to give you every single step that you want to follow in context. And it's all very bite-sized. You don't have to sit through hours of video. I mean, you get a lot of strategy. So like what we're doing right now is like one of these, right?
Yeah.
But these are long calls. These are short videos, right? So this will
Uh-huh.
get you exactly what you're looking for quickly.
Okay.
But to your point, in your classes, um, this is the class that you began building. And you do have under branding right here, it looks like we don't have a cover photo or main photo for this, but we do have an image attached here,
Uh-huh.
which if we go and we visit, okay, so this is the inside the vault. So that's actually a vault setting. So if we go to your vaults, that's the image right here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And you can see right here if you hover over it, it's actually giving a recommended size, 1050 by 400 or smaller. Right. And so that's going to give you the best formatting. And I go over this in that course as well. And I believe I even provide you templates for the images that you use here. So that you can utilize those if you want to brand these. So that large image that you're seeing when we're here is this right here. And that just means that this is a very large resolution image. And it's just showing it big because it's big. But if you follow this recommendation of 1050 by 400 or smaller, then it'll look a little nicer there.
How can
Uh,
I get it down to that size or
yeah, so I would actually, so it's a 1050 by 400. So what I would do is actually going through the course, use the templates that I provide in there. Or you could simply go add a design from Canva. I'm
well,
going
I
to go
saw some
custom.
templates, but I wasn't sure if that was for a website or a landing page, not the course or not
Well,
the class.
we offer lots of templates, but inside of that how to build your online course that I was just talking about, the only templates that are in there are specific to what's needed for that, right? So I'm inside of here, and I'll go there one more time. The
Uh-huh.
only templates that you're going to find if you go to the Success Academy, you go
Uh-huh.
to online resources and courses, and you click right here and you get into this vault that has all
Uh-huh.
the resources. There's nothing in here about like home pages or whatever. Like you're only going to find templates that are specific to what you need. This is very well organized for
Okay.
you to be able to get exactly what you need for that specific use case. Every step in here is complete. I don't leave anything out. But you do have the option as well, because again, if we hover over, it says 1050 by 400 or smaller. If I click the image here, add design from Canva, go here to click custom 1050, 400, open Canva, and you can obviously use the templates that I've provided, or you can, put something else here entirely, right? So this is where I would typically in a situation like this, like title a if I want to say course, right? So I'll say course materials or lessons. How about that? We'll say lessons. And so you can just go into Canva and create this, however you like, right? And then you just send that to AttractWell, and then you make that the cover image. But again, I just follow the steps that I have in that course, because what you don't want to do is like do this in this order for every single thing, right? What you really want to do is have a plan and a map of everything that you're going to have, and then follow the steps as I teach them, because it's not an efficient use of your time to create this like I just showed you for every single thing that you're going to create in your vault out of order, right? It
Well,
makes the most.
I already have my Word Perfect document. I also created in InDesign, and
Oh, great.
I also created it all the steps in Jot form. I did every step, boom, in Jot
Great.
form, so I can hit my link and I can go right down to my course. But now I'm having difficulties taking my steps and actually creating it
Yeah.
after I've got all the pieces.
So I've built probably over 100 courses and vaults inside of AttractWell
Uh-huh.
over time. And what I've done in this is broken it down into the easiest to follow, fastest path to you building the thing that you want. And it does
Okay.
require following the steps in order
Uh-huh.
because again, and this is the thing, right? Like I know how this tech works because I've been here since it was developed, right? And so I
Uh-huh.
can tell you the most efficient way to approach building something. You may have it somewhere else. You just want to make sure that you have it organized and all of the pieces that you need. And then plugging it in here is a really easy process to follow. But if obviously I don't have what you're working with, I don't have your forms and everything that you've developed in front of me, so I can't say, what you have goes where. But I do know that you would want to go into Canva using the template that I created that's inside of this course right here, and just create all of these things that you need all at once. And so then you could just simply go and select it, and it's already formatted correctly, and you're ready to go, right? And that's actually more of a final step even because you would want to have your content in here first before you start fooling with pictures, right? Um, you would
Okay.
want to actually have the content in place before you brand it.
Yeah, but right there, how do you add the content? How do you add some? You can't add any typing. Do you go down below that to add the typing, or it says
Well,
add content. What do you add?
where do you like what kind of content are you wanting to add?
Let's say I wanted to add, a message. I wanted to type out, two paragraphs. Let's say
So that you want the two paragraphs to be on, is this a welcome message or is
a
this a part
title, a
of,
picture, paragraphs, and then a video. It's just like,
so that's for the lesson itself, correct?
well, that's the beginning for the introduction, and then of course, and then I would start the class, and I would probably do it in a similar manner, make a statement about what, the first step that we're wanting to create. You have the information about it. You capture the attention. Now it's time to convert their mindset. You know.
Okay. Okay. So I'll show you an example of the just how this stuff gets laid out, right? So um,
When you said pictures over to Canva, if I create pictures over in Canva, what does it automatically? Do I have to move it over to AttractWell? I'm
Yes, you would need to download them to your device so that they could be
okay.
uploaded into your AttractWell
Okay.
account.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
let me show you. This is the course, actually. We'll go a little bit meta here. This is the course that I'm referring to, right? It's called How to Build Your Online Course, but it's you can do anything with it. So you can
Okay.
see that it's branded here. It's got an image background, it's got a logo. I even made it animated, right?
Yeah.
Um, Inside, we've got the contents. Got course curriculum. That's all that's here. All right.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm saying welcome to the workshop. Click an option below to get started. If there's something that I want to say to them before they access the materials here, this could have this is going to go to our actual course with the lessons. I could
Uh-huh.
also have a discussion room in here. I could have several pages in here. So right here, I'm going to be telling them, and I'm in the vault right now. I'm not in the class yet. I'm in the vault, right? This is the member area. It looks like this. It's got all the vaults. This is the vault. And here I can say, pick an option below to get started. Well, right now I only have one option. I'm not using a discussion room in here. I'm not offering live calls. It's just this class, and that's fine. So if you want to have a paragraph about something before
Hmm.
they get started with anything,
Uh-huh.
and again, I go through this in this course where you can see this shows up here, and that if you go through this, you'll find it. Um, I'm going to have them go into the course. Now we're in the course. Looks kind of similar, but now you can see here's all my lessons,
Uh-huh.
right? And if I want to say something to them before they get started, I can do that. That's up here on the page,
Is this
and
in the
it's
vault
over
or the
here.
class?
This is we are now in the class.
How did you get to the class from the vault?
I clicked right here
Okay.
because I gave it an image, right?
Uh-huh.
Or it could be a link. It could be a link like this, or it could be an image. These could be images as well if you wanted them to be. So here I'm in the class. We can tell because it says start class right here. And we have multiple places where we can say things. We're not going to be able, we don't need to add paragraphs in between these because these are lessons. If we want them to know what to expect when they engage in this course, we can put that up here, right? And there are options to do that. Um, Here, we'll go
Well,
to the class.
once they click the button,
Mhm.
that's where you'd have the paragraph, on
Oh
the
yeah, well then you're talking about lessons. So you
yeah,
would be editing the lessons. So here's
right.
your first lesson,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where you would put your paragraph.
And how did
That's this one right here, right?
yeah.
So you've actually created one, two, three, four lessons inside of this class.
Well, three of them were copycats. I'm gonna have to delete those
That's
and
fine.
start over. But so if I wanted to create one, add a content, and I wanted to create this title and then put that paragraph in there, is what you're saying it's down below?
Yeah, so if you want to, so right here under branding, this is where you can give a short class summary,
Uh-huh.
right? And then, and this is the thing that's going to show up on the side right here.
Uh-huh.
Or actually, that's right here. Actually, that's what shows up here. And then if you want to have an about this class, that's what's going to show up on the side, right?
But
And again, they'll see that
once
inside
they
the
actually
class.
start the class,
Hmm.
I want to like know where I'm supposed to put the content.
Right. And that's going to be inside. So this is we're in the vault. Now let's get into the class, right? And you can actually go over here if you want to look at your classes and edit your classes. It's even over here. Click classes.
Uh-huh.
That's your class. You've got four lessons in it. If you want to add content to your lessons, we can click add content and create a brand new lesson, or you can open one of the four that you've already created. And inside here, the content that you add, you can put a video in here if you want to use a video, and you can add video, images, text, whatever you want right here. This is the body of the lesson. So I'll show you what this looks like completed. When we start this class, and this is the one that I'm encouraging you to definitely go through, um, I've got a video here. I've got my content here. I've got links. They can mark it complete. You can choose to include discussion if you'd like. You can even include additional videos, which I've done in this
Uh-huh.
one, right? And what that is in the lesson editor, because these are lessons, right? This is a class. You can see all of the contents of the class here. And what the content of the class is are lessons. And these are all lessons, right? So inside these lessons, you can place a video and you can place text or whatever you'd like in this box. And this is how you set it up. Video here, text or even additional videos, images, etc. here.
So you're not going in the vault, you're going into the classes to edit the class?
Right. Yeah. And if you go through this course, you'll see one of the first things that we talk about is the structure of the member area. You can actually see the levels right here. This is a member area. A member area is, do you remember those toys that we played with as kids that had, there's a star shape, there's a round shape, there's a square shape, and you got to find like the right place to put them. There is only one shape that fits in a member area, and it's a vault shape, right? So these are all vaults. This is a member area, and inside this member area, these are all vaults. Now, if you
Okay.
pick a vault is going to have up to three different types of shapes. That's going to be pages. Here's a page. There's going to be classes. Here's a class. And there's discussion, which is a discussion room. And you can have any number of these different features inside of a vault. So a member area only has vaults in it. Vaults can have pages, classes, discussion rooms, right? And
Say that
inside
last part
of
again. Say the last part again.
pages, classes, discussion rooms.
Pages, classes. So how do you get into the page?
Get it, you click it. You mean like
Oh, I
if
see.
you're,
That's the page.
this is a page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And then inside of a class, there are only lessons.
okay.
And these are the lessons. Now, in these lessons, you can put video, text, links, files, discussion, whatever you'd like, right? These can be more rich interactive opportunities, right? But these are lessons inside of a class. This is a class. It only has lessons inside of it. You can put a lot into a lesson.
Okay.
This is a vault. A vault can have pages, classes, discussion rooms, and this is a member area. It only has vaults. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's your hierarchy. And so when you're editing a lesson, this is the content that people are coming for, right? Especially if you want this to be in sequential order. You're going to have, here's the first video they need to watch. You're going to give them instructions on what to do. This is where we are telling them what to do or showing them how to achieve whatever this class is supposed to teach them.
I
Now, in
might have
setting,
a
what's that?
questionnaire in jot form, and it might take them through an experience, and then after the experience, I might ask them to what did they get out of it? What was their takeaway from this
Absolutely.
experience? You
If
know.
you're using JotForm, look for an embed option, and you can embed your JotForm in here, in this code.
Okay.
And you can actually have them do the JotForm right inside your course. And then you can include discussion here and prompt them to share what their experience was. So you could actually include that as content in your lesson. If you want
Right.
to use that JotForm, embed it here on the page and then prompt them for the
So I have like
discussion.
several videos I've made. Some are really long, but I thought, well, for this particular lesson and point that I want to make, I'll go in and take a short out of the video and put that little video content to support what we're talking about that might go
Mhm.
along with the jot form.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And all of that can be put into a single lesson if you like, or you could put it into multiples.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to go. I'll find that class and go through it step by step.
Yeah,
It'll be
again, if you go through the easiest way to do this is to go from the Success Academy. And I do think you already have access to it. So if you go into the AttractWell member area, which you could also do if you go to online resources and courses, if you've already logged in, just click this right here. It'll take you right in. Look for this guy,
Uh-huh.
and you'll find everything that you need there. And if you need something that you don't see there, let us know and we'll add it.
Okay. All right. Well, I
Awesome.
appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Glad that you could join us here today and we could get that worked out.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a two, so I'm lucky I sat down.
Yeah, it is. It's the second half of the calls is
Oh,
when
okay.
we do these lives.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Sure thing. All right. Thank you, you guys who stuck around. I hope that you learned something new today or reinforced something that you are building on. We will be back here same time next week. Really appreciate you guys being here and trusting us with your journey, making a difference in the world, doing what you were put here to do. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.